Hello and welcome to another episode of LunaKage and Mr. Yusuk's unnamed wrestling podcast. I'm Mr. Yusuk.
I'm LunaKage.
And we have a special guest, Mark.
Hello.
Mark's here with us today. We're going to be talking over the Fastlane 2016 pay-per-view event. Luna!
Yes.
How happy are you with life right now?
With life?
With life.
I'm pretty happy with life.
See, that's funny because most people who follow the WWE wouldn't be.
See, if it wasn't for Street Fighter V, fucking Digimon Story, and tax returns, I'd probably be miserable right now. But there is so much good shit going on at this very moment that Fastlane was like, man, that sucked. Let's turn on a video game.
So did you watch Raw at all?
I saw what I see every week.
Okay, so you know enough.
And that was whatever WWE puts on YouTube.
You got enough then.
And I noticed a surprising lack of Roman Reigns. I don't know if I just didn't watch those or didn't see them.
Watch those. I'll maybe go into a little.
Like, what if they just didn't put anything on YouTube for Roman Reigns? It'd be hilarious.
There was definitely something they would have put on about him.
I wouldn't be too bothered by less Roman Reigns, though.
No, it was he gets shown up pretty hard in Raw.
It's a good thing he's main eventing WrestleMania again.
Yeah.
Spoilers. You wouldn't be listening to this if you didn't see it already.
Exactly.
But still.
So anyways, Fastlane. So how do we go about this? Fastlane pre-show.
I missed it.
I'm sorry.
I did too.
Because the Fastlane pre-show suffered the same issue as... Oh, which one of it was this? Night of Champions, where the pre-show match was one of the best matches on the card.
See, I'm sure it was a good match, but since Del Rio was in it, for me, nothing of value was lost.
Yeah, I completely understand that. So the Fastlane pre-show match, and I'll take this one solo route because I'm the only person that saw that, is Kalisto versus Del Rio in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the U.S. belt. And to be fair, I don't think anyone in this room, or maybe possibly even outside this room, really cares about the Kalisto Del Rio feud anymore because it's like, why is this still going on?
Right. I mean, Kalisto has nothing more to prove, really. He's the U.S. champion. Let him run with it. Let him move on to someone that's not Mexican.
Yeah, it's like, why are we still doing this?
I feel like the U.S. belt, whenever John Cena's not holding it, is just Vince McMahon going, let's throw as many minorities against each other as possible, and then give them the U.S. title so that no one accuses us of being racist.
Are you saying it's a race war?
Yes.
There's very minor socio-political commentary behind who has the U.S. belt and how the booking goes along with it.
Yeah.
Regardless, on commentary was, I want to say, Tom Stevens? Is that the guy from SmackDown? Who was on SmackDown? He hasn't been on for a while, I don't think.
You're talking about the guy who's actually pretty good?
The guy that has a deeper voice and is actually pretty good.
I can't remember his name.
I want to say it's Tom Stevens.
But every time I hear him, I'm like, this guy's pretty good.
I always I hear him and I go, so why is Byron on Raw?
Yeah.
Like, Byron, I don't hate you. I hate the way you're booked.
He's a whipping boy.
He's
a whipping boy.
Byron the buried. So, anyways, I hate being that guy, but this is wrestling, so we'll be that guy. Kalisto has terrible back knee for this match.
Back knee?
Yeah. So like his back is a minefield of acne spots.
I mean, whatever.
I know it's one of those wrestling sins that like people throw out there because it's all based on looks. But like when someone has like really terrible back acne, I feel like I just have to point it out. The lid's my drink. Where'd it go? Anyways, the match kind of starts off slow because I really don't care about this, but Kalisto gets the first fall within 5 minutes or so via disqualification.
Yeah.
As Del Rio goes to the outside, picks up a chair, and literally like swats Kalisto out of the air with it. Like, it was actually a pretty good hit. Del Rio does a strange rope version of his foot stomp ender that wasn't on the turnbuckle. It was actually done on the ropes. So it wasn't turnbuckle tree of woe. Kalisto gets spun up in the second rope. His head drops because of it. Looks pretty nasty. It's actually a really good spot. It was super smooth. You could tell that it was planned out that way. Like, the physicality of this match is actually kind of there. Del Rio tries multiple times to tear Kalisto's mask off. He's healing it up really good throughout the entire match. Actually doing a good job. Honestly, this was a good match. Kalisto gets put in the tree of woe again, but is able to lift his feet up and convert it into a Frankensteiner, which Tom calls a Frankensteiner. And that's why I like him, because I don't like the phrase Hurricane Rana. I want it to be called a Frankensteiner.
I like Hurricane Rana because that was the first I heard. So I guess that's just how it goes for me.
So, my first encounter with the Frankensteiner was Armor King in Tekken 2.
Yeah.
And so that's why I love the term Frankensteiner.
Yeah. You can always tell when video game companies, which one they watched, because you'll see whatever the move is called. Like, for example, in DOA 4, Tina can use a diamond cutter, and that's what it is. She does it like a diamond cutter, but she sets it up like how Stone Cold would have stunner. Mm-hmm. So if they would have been WWE,
kick to the gut.
Yeah. Also her Hurricane Rana is called a Frankensteiner. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you could tell that if they watched WWF back then, that cutter would have been a Stone Cold Stunner instead. So you could always kind of tell. Usually, and it's mostly probably because they were they're older.
Yeah.
Old people loved WCW. Yeah.
The older dudes.
Old rednecks Japanese people.
That's a thing that actually exists.
Yeah.
BT dubs. Del Rio gets a really beautiful inverted superplex on Kalisto, and Kalisto rolls all the way out to stop the pin. Once on the outside, Del Rio grabs a chair and wants to use it again, but realizes that if he was to do so, he would actually lose the match.
Funny thing about 2 out of 3 falls match, like any kind of match that's like that, including Iron Man matches, where you win via score as opposed to like straight up falls and stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's ever been done, but technically you can win. A title can change hands via DQ or count out. Because all it is about whoever has the best score ends up winning. So it's like let's say
that's one of those old WWE rules that's really never come into account.
Yeah, and because it's like it's just the winner of the match, because it's not like a normal one fall match where you can't lose the title by DQ or count out. But in a score type match, that really doesn't matter. And it's evident by the fact that he got himself DQ'd for the first fall, and that only counted as a fall. It's not like there's an addendum to it that says, if you get DQ'd for both falls, doesn't change hands. That's not a thing. Mm-hmm. So there's no real way to I guess you could say fine print that kind of thing, where it's like, oh, he won this Iron Man match with 4 falls. 3 of those were pinfalls, but then the last one was a count out. So what do you do? So that's why they, but it's never come up because no one's ever won, in my knowledge, as with a count out or a pin or a DQ.
Exactly.
They've only ever used it early on to get an advantage or a disadvantage.
Kalisto got a pin, a fall somewhere in there. It was a pin.
Well, no, he didn't. He, you mean to end it?
No, not to end it. Oh, no, he didn't. That's right.
Yeah, he got,
the chair was his first one.
Del Frio, he got DQ'd for the first fall.
And then, yada, 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 they get to the outside. Del Rio sets up another Tree of Woe foot stomp ender. This time, he hooks him on the barricade. So, actually, kind of props to Del Rio for, all the modifications of his ender in this match. I really dig it.
He's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like Randy Orton. I don't give a fuck.
It's exactly Randy Orton. It's exactly Randy Orton.
He's a Mexican Randy Orton, or is it Randy Orton an American Del Rio?
Who
I'm pretty sure Del Rio has been around longer as far as in wrestling.
They're probably both in their mid to late 30s. Del Rio's probably 38 or so. Anyways, the end of the match comes up when Del Rio sets up the foot stomp. Kalisto dodges, reverses into the Salina del Sol, doesn't get the full momentum, whips him back into the turnbuckle, and then uses the momentum of him hitting the turnbuckle for a roll-up and the win. And then we promptly go back to not caring.
Yeah.
So, Fastlane proper.
Yeah, proper.
Now we can actually talk with everyone. Fastlane opener.
Actually,
okay, start us off.
Mark came in. Actually, let me see. We'll go down your notes so I can check. Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, Ryback, Big Show. I believe he came in
during the Wyatt.
You came in during that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry.
So he didn't even get
one of the better matches on the card. So to start off Fastlane, and may as well end Fastlane, Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch versus Naomi and Tamina in a tag match.
Becky Lynch doing her best Can Cole cosplay, coming out with the hat.
Oh, I thought you were saying that she had all that ugly shit stuff on her back.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past her. That'd be pretty sweet, honestly, if she came out fully decked in
I would
ship armor.
I would love a Becky Lynch cosplay gimmick because we're almost honestly already there.
Yeah,
with the Chandra the Pyromancer.
I recently listened to her when she was on the Chris Jericho podcast, and she's amazing.
Yes.
I'd never actually listened to her talk as herself before that, and I was like, man, this woman, I would love to marry this woman.
She's the most precious angel.
Not once did she ever mention a boyfriend on that podcast, so you never know. You never know, Jay. You go for it.
I've seen so much disappointment in my life. I don't know if it's possible. Anyways, right off the bat, Sasha and Becky disagree as to who starts the tag match off first. Yeah. 30 seconds in, because Sasha starts, Becky tags herself off Sasha and goes on in anyways. Yeah. I want to correctly verbalize this, so help me along on this, Luna.
Okay.
Naomi does a repeated kick move that really, really looks like an awkward marching band thing.
I don't even know if I saw that.
She's like almost doing the can as she's trying to kick each side of Becky. It's not graceful in the slightest.
I mean, honestly, Naomi isn't very graceful. I know she's got quite a few fans because it's like, oh man, she's thick, she's black, she's beautiful and shit. She's athletic. Like, she's not very good though.
She's okay.
She's okay at best.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying it wasn't good, but thinking about a weaponized can sounds great to me.
Yeah,
Zangief did it first.
That's Cossack dancing. That is different.
Tamina. I guess I don't know what a can is.
Can are the showgirls that go.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got you.
That was really hard for me to do, like in this basement room, 6'3". Like Jesus Christ, that was a hard sell.
You're going to be the one that's heard the most because your face is just like up against.
I can try to turn the thing. I speak towards it.
It's not about turning. Like you're just closer to it. Like everyone here is so much shorter than you.
I guess I'll just try to be louder whenever I talk.
I'm also like the loudest, so there's that.
You are very pronounced.
Yeah.
I've got a very low everything. My bass is low. Mm-hmm. My volume's low, which is surprising because I can't stop talking ever.
That's fine. You say you're in it for the cardio. Yeah. Unlike Roman Reigns, you can last.
I can last. Like the last time I did it, it was like fucking an hour long, and I didn't even, let's just stop right there.
Next note of point. Tamina looks much better with her hair down than in that whack-ass, like, Predator Mohawk thing.
Yeah. Thing is, Tamina would look great, but she's got to stop talking. Every time she opens her mouth, you're like, oh my god.
She needs to be booked more like the not speaking monster heel. She's big and beefy. And
that's the issue with both her and Roman Reigns. Though, to Roman Reigns' credit, he is a lot better than her in the ring. But holy shit, as a monster of the Divas division, I believe her over Nia Jax at least.
Yeah.
But you gotta just have her stop talking. her voice sounds like fucking like one of those annoying ladies you hear like when you're in a salon. It's just not good. Just have her stop talking.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. So Becky's in the ring getting beat up because that's how tag matches go. She almost makes the hot tag to Sasha, and this is expertly timed. To me, where was I in my freaking notes? Sasha's on the apron. Naomi pulls her off the apron as Becky is jumping for her. Like, you could easily mistime that spot, but they did it perfectly. Tamina breaks up a would-be bank statement after the actual hot tag happens, and Sasha has to chase her straight into Naomi's rear view. Sasha gets out of a double suplex attempt, and the ref looks away.
Let me comment on that.
Yeah.
I don't pay much attention to Naomi, but when the rear view was kicked out of and not treated like it was a finisher, I was so happy.
I didn't even put it in my notes. That's how much it didn't faze me.
Well, it phased me because it wasn't treated like a finisher, which is great because that move is garbage as a finisher.
Yeah, kayfabe, terrible finisher.
Yeah, it leads me to believe that she's got another one, which would be great. I know she does like a corkscrew double leg moonsault type deal or something like that, and that would be cool as a finisher, but they can't have her do that as a heel because that would get, well, I can't say it'd get pops. Yeah. But that'd be more entertaining than fucking the rear view.
Anyways, both of them are in the ring. They set up for a double suplex attempt on Sasha, and it doesn't happen. She's able to escape out. The ref's looking away. Becky gets on the turnbuckle, hits a double missile drop kick on both of them.
Another looks very well timed spot.
The timing and the flow of this match is actually like really, really on point. Yeah, this was a really cohesive match.
It was probably Tamina's greatest match.
Yeah, no, like Naomi and Tamina were really good in this match.
It will go down in history as the only match Tamina was good in.
And so like the ending of this match is Sasha whipping Tamina into the ropes and then doing a flying head scissors that rotates into the bank statement, which was
It was very similar to it was very similar to how old Sin Cara. I don't know if new Sin Cara does it, but
I don't think Hunico Sin Cara does it.
He used to do that into I think he called it the Mystica or something like that. It was a submission finisher, but it was more like an armbar type deal. But yeah, like she did it into I think it looked like a crossface at first because it looked like her arm was between her legs, but it was a bank statement. So I dug it.
It was a little. It's not the most graceful, but like super hella originality points for the way it went up. As Tamina's in the hold, Naomi tries to break it up, but Becky intercepts and she puts on the disarmer. Yeah. So both of the baby faces get the good shit at the end.
I've talked before about how much I love clever names for finishing moves, and I feel like everyone should be like that. But I get like extra giddy about moves like that. Yeah. Every time you say the disarmer, I'm just like, God damn, that's such a good move.
Like the disarmer is good, but I think the bank statement is
is great because they're both great for different reasons. Disarmer because it's like about the move itself. Bank statement because it's her name, So like they're clever on different reasons, kind of like the rock bottom versus fucking I can't even think of one right now, but the rock bottom is another example of a move name I love.
I think my favorite one that's currently being used is definitely, after you brought this up, the Bailey to belly. Yeah. Like, there's layers to that.
Yeah. And like, I've also discussed, I don't know if on this podcast, but before I've discussed in length about how I hate it when people use normal moves as finishers. A big example was Cameron for a while. She used a standard DDT and called it Girl Bye. It was dumb. Hated every second of it. Yeah. Everything about it was dumb. And the Bailey to belly would totally be one of those if it wasn't for the name.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the name and the fact that it completely matches with the gimmick. Yeah. It's like, it's perfect cohesion.
It's great.
The faces win. Hooray. That was your best match of the night, I guess.
I'm surprised that they didn't, everything was good after that match. You know what I mean? Like between them, because like the whole time they were like, oh, there's a little bit of dissension, and then when they win, you know, they're willingly holding up each other's hands, acting like they're friends and stuff. Did anything happen with them on Raw?
Yeah, Charlotte came out and said that that they are going to have a fight. Becky and Sasha are going to have a match to determine who will face Charlotte for the belt at Mania.
Oh boy, don't do that.
It was actually a pretty good promo in terms of Charlotte, because they're in the ring and she's talking and she goes, Becky, watch out! And like Becky like looks at Sasha like she's about to attack, and she's like, no, don't worry about it. So like it's actually like I like Charlotte as a heel.
Yeah,
I think she's still
that's cool and everything, but the thing I was against is like having them do a match to determine the number one contender. Like normally that'd be great, but like now that you know, so you're just gonna have Becky lose again.
Yeah.
And then you know, like fuck it, just have a triple threat. Like, did the match happen?
No, not
okay,
yet.
so it's not yet.
Not yet.
I guess it could easily end in like a double count out type deal to where they're both.
Yeah, that could happen.
Maybe. We'll see.
Next up is Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler in the hilariously quickly booked IC belt match.
I feel like we've been here before.
I don't know why. Owens starts the match off with a headbutt. The crowd is very animated. They're totally in love with this match. Owens remarks, "Your hometown loves me more than you," which is funny because even though Ziggler's from Cleveland, Ohio, when they announce him, they still announce that he's from like Florida.
Yeah, I mean, usually when they're in Ohio, they say that he's from Ohio.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Yeah, like sometimes they mess up. Like I guess they were thinking too much about Dean Ambrose, which is funny because they never think about Dean Ambrose.
Exactly.
And we've seen at the end of the night how much they think about Dean Ambrose. But yeah, usually when they're in Ohio, they change it and say that he's from Ohio. Yeah.
So this caught my eye because I thought this was actually pretty cool. Kevin does a reverse Irish whip or so into the turnbuckle for Dolph, and there's actually like a lot of painful momentum behind it. Like they actually did the replay of this, and Dolph looks like his shoulder gets caught under the rope, and like something could actually be hurt there. Like it actually looked like it was a good momentum that had, you know, power behind it. I'm like, hey, they that's why we're all here.
Yeah,
watching this shit. So Dolph starts selling his shoulder. Commentary goes over it a couple times. The crowd's super into everything. Owens throws Dolph into the corner, and Kevin goes for the cannonball. Not really, you know. It goes into like the know-nothing cannonball. Like, you obviously know I'm not doing the cannonball. Dolph dodges, and Kevin does the fly through the ropes, shoulder hit the turnbuckle spot, but he does it with so much momentum that he hits his shoulder hits the turnbuckle, and then he just keeps flying out the freaking ring. Like he just goes out the ring.
I must have missed that spot.
It was actually really cool.
I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to the match. I heard it was a really good match, but it was Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. Yeah. And I'm like, why?
It's that. Yeah, like we're the booking tells us not to really care about it.
Yeah. Like if it would have been us watching it together, I probably would have paid more attention to it. But like normally when I'm watching solo, which is, you know, this is before Mark came in, especially, I'm like kind of doing other things. Whenever a match comes on, then I'm like, I don't
care. So since it's pay-per-view, that means that Owens has unlocked the ability to do the Fisherman Driver. Yeah. So he does the Fisherman Driver, and Ziggler starts to roll to the outside, and Owens is grabbing at him, like trying to stop him from going to the outside. Yeah. And, you know, it's just like the good ring awareness shit that Owens is able to do, like making wrestling feel like it's actually wrestling kind of thing. It's just, I say this about every pay-per-view that has Owens in it, but he just makes it all look so good.
Yeah. Which is why I'd be super excited if he went on to go against AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
Oh my god!
Because like they kind of hinted at that. I think Kevin Owens tweeted something about it.
That'd be phenomenal.
But yeah, it would be phenomenal. Half of it would be phenomenal. The other half would be
phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Boom. There's your catchphrase for that.
Fat nominal LunaKage.
All right.
That's gonna be my gimmick now because I'm fat and phenomenal. Fat nominal.
Good. You're the Gilbert of AJ Styles.
The Gilbert of AJ Styles. I just got to get the goatee going and have the howdy doody haircut.
Oh my God, so we can stop this at any time. Both men end up on the outside after trading super kicks. Owens sets up for the apron powerbomb, which, to my knowledge, he hasn't hit once he has gone up to the main roster yet.
No, he hit it on John Cena.
He did the apron powerbomb on John Cena? Okay.
It wasn't. I don't think it was in the.
No, it wasn't during a match. It was something else. That's right.
That move has so far only been used to injure people, which is good. Yeah, which is why he doesn't use it a whole lot. They've got enough injuries. So
as he's got Ziggler up for the apron powerbomb, Ziggler reverses it into a Hurricanrana, into the steel steps. They both roll inside. Ziggler does the HBK super kick stomp.
Yeah, tuning up the band.
Yep. Owens dodges, hits the pop powerbomb. Owens wins. Yada yada yada. We all go home.
Right, before we start the next match,
yes.
Since we don't have like a Raw segment on this podcast, something I want to bring up. Fucking
yeah.
Shano's back.
Here comes the money,
dude. I literally. When I was looking at, I was like, oh, let's see what happened on Raw, looking through WWE feed. I was like, I saw Shane McMahon returns to Raw, and I was like, is this like a troll thing? And then I looked, it's like, no, posted by WWE, and then I started watching it, and I was like, fuck, I could have went to this show.
Yeah, Jim Nardascia was at the show.
I could have went to this fucking show. Like, the show...
This was
Shane McMahon came back.
I feel bad like adding all this onto it, but like this was actually a really good Raw.
Was it?
Yeah. Like as far as Raws go, this was pretty good.
Like the last Raw that was in Detroit was really good too. It's like
the end of Raw was Sheamus and Roman, which sounds like the world's shittiest end of Raw.
Yeah.
And then H just runs in and interrupts it and just beats the living piss out of Roman, and they blood packet the hell out of Roman. So, it was pretty cool.
So, did anyone care?
I mean,
I guess Roman got beat up, so that was cool.
Yeah, the crowd was booing the shit out of Roman. Thank you, Detroit.
Yeah, it's Detroit.
Yeah, and then
they know.
They know. They know. Dude, I have massive reservations about the fact that everyone's cheering H because
he's supposed to be the heel.
Well, it's not only that. It's like, thanks, H, for booking yourself in this situation.
But the thing is, fucking, it totally has nothing to do with Roman at this point.
Yeah. Like
Triple H.
You could have put Adam Rose in that situation.
No, you couldn't have, because people probably would have kind of dug that. Here's the reason. Because Triple H, he's the cerebral assassin, right?
Yeah, not the king of kings.
Yeah, not just in kayfabe. He's in real life a genius. So he was like, how as a heel can I main event WrestleMania with the WWE Championship and get cheered? I know. I'll go against Roman.
Yeah.
I want to get cheered in the main event of one more WrestleMania.
I wanna be the Ric Flair I've always wanted to be by winning the belt at the Royal Rumble, and then I'll main event WrestleMania and still be over as the heel.
God, yeah. Triple H is a fucking genius. I can't even be mad at him for that.
I don't want to be mad at him. I am mad at him, but I'm like, man, you're good at putting yourself over, dude.
He's so great at putting himself over.
You're so good at it.
He's so good.
Anyways, then to the next sack of disappointment. So we have a 6-man tag. Already, I'm drinking. We have the Ryback, the Big Show, and the Kane versus the Wyatt family.
Yeah, and honestly, this match, when you look at it on paper, you're like, oh, so they're going to put over the Wyatt family so they can look strong going into their feud that they're going to lose at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you're like, okay, so we have the Wyatt family versus Know Nothing Ryback, old person and old person.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Wyatts have to go over.
Yeah, especially because the Wyatts for the last couple of years have been fixtures at WrestleMania. They've been losing every single match at WrestleMania, but they're still important. So it's like, we need to make sure they win their pay-per-view match before WrestleMania so that the guy who beats them can say that they beat somebody.
Exactly. And even more so, there was a really bitchin' promo package for this match. Like, the promo package made you feel like this match meant something.
That's because Bray Wyatt is amazing.
It meant, like, there was nothing at the stakes for this match. Like, they just, like, threw Ryback, Big Show, and Kane together, and they're like, go wrestle.
It was a very obvious, like, route,
both, either.
Whatever, square root. There was rumors that it was going to be one of the Wyatts, Strowman, Bray, whatever.
It was Strowman.
Going against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And the story they were telling up to this match here made a whole lot of sense, because they were taking out Titans in the WWE. Ryback, the big guy, is in his name. The Big Show is in his name. Kane, he's Demon, Big Red Machine. They're all Titans. They're all huge. And who's the Titan that rules them all in WWE? That'd be Brock Lesnar, right? So it would make so much sense. But they called it Alderaan. They called it Audible.
They called it Alderaan. We're using that now.
Yeah, I mean, they did, because they destroyed everything.
Yeah.
Hey, actually used a Star Wars reference effectively.
Wow. That was like really well done, by the way.
Okay, so...
Congratulations. Hey,
anything to have Ray congratulate me.
Congratulations.
I would do so. Okay, so... they decided that it wasn't going to be Brock Lesnar and the Wyatt family, or whatever, at WrestleMania. It was going to be Brock and Dean.
Which is cool. Maybe.
I'll get into that in a bit. But I don't agree.
I don't agree with the match, but Dean is, the way they booked Dean trying to get the match was like, Dean, I love you.
Okay, so I guess I'll explain it now, because when I think
we're gonna talk about a Big Show, Kane, and Ryback versus the Wyatts. Do it now.
Okay, so this is a double-sided coin here, double-edged sword. Because
I think those are two completely different things.
Are they? I mean, a double-sided coin is kind of like a normal coin, I guess.
Yeah.
There are two sides to this coin. It is a double-edged sword. Is that a more proper way to say what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, closer.
Anyway, okay. So, on the one hand, Dean is totally just going to get fucked.
Yeah.
He's not beating Lesnar.
No, he's not.
He's going to lose, probably very badly. And that's exactly fucking why I hate it, because it's like, instead of Dean going on to win the title at WrestleMania, he's just going to go on to lose
to Brock
while Roman Reigns wins the title at WrestleMania. Yay.
Woohoo.
Okay, so that sucks. On the other hand, normally, whenever Dean loses to Roman Reigns, which happens a lot, the next thing they do with Dean is shove him straight to the mid-card. All the time, right?
Yeah.
Fucking, the only time he's ever flirting with the main event is when it's, like, other Shield members. Like, him and Seth. He loses to Seth. He goes right back down to the mid-card. Him, Roman, Seth, and Randy in that Fatal 4-Way. He loses that match, goes straight to the mid-card. I think he took the pin for that match, didn't he?
I think it was either that he took the pin to that match, or
No, Orton did, actually.
Okay, because I know we spent, like, weeks being like, Dean's going to take the pin. Dean's going to take the pin. Dean's going to take the pin.
But anyway, but this time, instead of shoving him straight to the mid-card, he's still in the main event scene because he's up there with Brock Lesnar. Thing is, we know Dean's going to lose like a bitch.
Yeah.
But if you're in there with Brock Lesnar, you still got to be considered something special if you're going to go one-on-one with Brock Lesnar.
Losing to Brock Lesnar at Mania is way better than being thrown back to the mid card and giving like no shit's
because like you think about it, they're not going to put Brock Lesnar against Dolph Ziggler.
No,
they're not even going to put Brock Lesnar against Kevin Owens.
No,
if that happens, I'll be pretty hyped about that but they're not going to do it.
No.
So him being there with Brock Lesnar is kind of exciting just because Dean gets to have his promo time, because when he's in the mid card he doesn't get that.
No, not at all.
So he gets to be in the main event picture, which they care about. He gets to have him some promo time. He gets to look kind of like a badass.
Which he's been doing fantastically.
Oh, of course, because he's amazing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've ever talked about how much I like Dean. Just in case no one here knows, I like Dean Ambrose a lot.
Dean Ambrose definitely has great promos.
Dean Ambrose has like a lot of great everything.
Yeah.
Except the hairline.
Hey, it worked for Vegeta, all right?
Vegeta has something in the middle to save it.
Which is appropriate because Dean's kind of like the Vegeta of the Shield.
Can we please get one where he calls Roman Kakarot?
Okay, so the thing that makes me extra angry about this, though, is the fact that I know that Dean's going to lose to Lesnar, which in normal circumstances would be fine because they're not really going to let Lesnar lose to anybody.
No, not at all.
Except for Roman Reigns. Because you know that's coming.
Don't say it. I don't want to believe it.
I don't know when. It might be SummerSlam.
Don't say it. I don't want to believe it.
It might be the next Royal Rumble. But the one who's beating Brock Lesnar clean as shit is going to be Roman Reigns.
As a whistle.
And that's the problem.
Okay. You know what? Back to the match. I had like show notes for this match, but who seriously gives a shit?
Yeah. I can't believe you actually wrote anything down about
it.
This
It wasn't much.
Like, it should have just been in all caps. Why did they let fucking the Wyatt family lose?
Yeah, it's like, okay, so here's the one thing that, like, okay, you can't fuck up this. You can safely have the Wyatts have this one. No, they job out. And then they make it worse. They do the rematch on Raw the next day.
That's the thing. How that ended was great. They should have did that on this pay-per-view. Because, like, Ryback, I don't know if they're going to consider this a heel turn. Maybe not, because the two guys he fucking walked out on have been heels for the last fucking 3 years.
Yeah.
And decided to turn face like 3 days ago or something. But, like, he even said in his post-match promo, I don't know if it was like on a Raw Fallout.
No, it was like right after, pretty much. It was like after the commercial break.
Yeah, they asked him like why he did it, and he said he's like, I don't have any problem with those guys. I got no bone to pick with them. I'm just done being. I'm done being in tag teams. I gotta go out there and do it by myself.
Which is kind of funny because I don't think he was really in tag teams until like. No, I mean he's been. That's my apologies. He's not been in a tag team. He's just been randomly thrown the 6-man tags.
Well, he does that a lot, but also he was. It was kind of a reference to when they threw him in there with Curtis Axel. So many years ago.
Rybaxel,
yeah, that was dumb. But yeah, like they kind of do that with him. They're like, we don't know what to do with you, so we're going to throw you in here with these guys.
He's been getting hit with that a lot in the 6-man tag.
And I thought that was great. They should have did that at the pay-per-view. It would have been a good little thing to do at the pay-per-view. You could have had the Wyatts win. Because, like, really...
You could have not had 50-50 booking.
Yeah, because, like, really, what did they do here at the pay-per-view? They had Ryback pin Luke Harper.
Yep.
Which makes sense when we look at what happened on Raw, because he got the pin, so he's looking strong. But at the same time, it's like, you didn't really need that. We know Ryback's strong. The only reason
they finally decided to put him in tights.
Yeah, I mean, like... I don't know which one I like more, honestly, because like seeing his like actually fucking muscular ass body, that's cool and everything, but like I feel like I see too many guys in tights.
I'm really glad with putting Ryback in tights because he's absolutely jacked.
Yeah,
and I'm really glad that they gave the singlet to Bo because Bo's the last person they should have had in tights.
They just traded.
I'm like, thank you. Like, you solved a lot of issues right there. Bo should never be in tights, and Ryback should definitely be looking like Goldberg.
They should just, like, fucking have Bo start wearing Ryback's old tights.
Oh, my God.
Ryback's old singlet, and call him Rybo.
Bowback.
But no,
Bowback.
Ryback did do some interesting stuff during the match, but I can't get over how boring of a wrestler Big Show is.
Well, it's
I could be the crazy one, but whenever I see him in the ring, I just lose interest.
It's just that I don't hate Big Show. It's just a situation of like when you're 7 foot, 8,000 pounds, you can't maintain your own body, and you're old.
Also, I might as well bring this up now because I thought about it. Because when we were getting together today, I'm like, today's Tuesday, so Mark's probably going to be there.
Yeah.
So I thought about it so that the world can know. Mark is a casual fan. He's not hardcore. You know, he's not a super smart. His name is Mark.
Yeah.
So he's like, he is.
Yeah, I was not marking out in this match, not once.
But questions for you, Mark. 1, who is your favorite wrestler?
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Do you like Roman Reigns?
No.
do you like John Cena?
As a joke.
Damn.
So we're talking about the casual mark it's here.
God damn, Luna.
I'm pretty good.
You're pretty good. Move over, JBL.
So this is what, you know, this is the guy. He's not in it to win it like you and I are. He's not talking on a podcast except for now. But that's an accident. So
It's a circumstance of time.
Yeah, circumstance of time. So this is literally what the audience is saying.
Not entirely, because Mark's also not a little girl or a mother.
I mean, those don't matter.
They buy Roman Reigns outfits and gear.
Listen, if little girls, women and children, women and little girls, if they were the most important market, then Randy Orton would never have been healed.
I see your point.
Because Randy Orton's been heel a lot, and guess what? You know, every time he comes out, when he's not coming out to complete silence, you hear first a very loud, high-pitched cheer, and then immediately afterwards it's drowned out by a big, bassy boo. That is whenever Randy Orton comes out, especially as a heel. Sometimes he'll get cheered as a face because, like, I don't know, fucking Randy Orton, I guess. But Randy Orton is what Roman Reigns should have been and what he should eventually be. It's just like, for some reason, fucking Vince McMahon is sticking to his guns on him. He's not letting the Stone Cold of the group fucking come out. You know?
It's a shame because Dean is like definitely the Stone Cold.
Dude, Dean could easily be a Stone Cold dude.
Dean is like so Stone Cold.
He is fucking Stone Cold.
I wouldn't be saying that he's probably stoned a lot of the time.
I don't know.
No, actually, I'm not sure about that.
Maybe.
Dean seems like a very straight. Like, okay, so like my real life perceptions of Dean is he's dating Renee, so he's probably on the clean and narrow.
He's dating Renee, and Renee doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who likes kind of girl that likes bad boys.
No, Renee.
Even though you could say Dean kind of looks like he'd be a bad boy.
Renee seems like pure and high class.
Yeah. I mean, Renee. Look at Renee. Just like,
well, yeah. Look at Renee.
Like
you have to be with to get the time of day out of her.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think. I mean, maybe. I mean, weed is very recreational, but I don't know.
You have to be on something to have wrestled in CZW.
Yeah, you have. Probably Xanax. but yeah, like I don't know if he's actually a drug head.
But he's definitely not like the goody two shoes type of guy.
No.
Yeah. Maybe behind the scenes he is.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean,
like, not his persona.
I could kind of see him like being like the super duper like loving dude, especially.
But what Mark is definitely saying is he's booked as the Stone Cold babyface of not horrendously babyfacedness.
Big time. Like if Vince McMahon would just fucking stop having Alzheimer's for 1 second, he would see how Randy Orton Roman Reigns is. And he would see how Stone Cold fucking Dean Ambrose is, but he just won't. He just fucking
doesn't get it, man.
Like, and you got to realize, Vince McMahon's track record with picking his next top guy has been one and a bunch, basically. Like Hulk Hogan was handpicked.
Yes,
that was a huge success. Every other wrestler that has been the top guy was not handpicked. Like The Rock came super close.
The Rock was handpicked and failed and came back.
Yeah, and that's why everyone's suggesting Roman Reigns take that route.
Yeah, turn him heel.
But the thing is, The Rock was not the top guy. He was a top guy.
Mm-hmm.
The top guy of the Attitude Era is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes.
Like, if you even try to fucking like debate that, you're dumb. Like, yes, you like The Rock, that's great, but Stone Cold always beat him at WrestleMania until they realized, fuck, did The Rock never beat Stone Cold at WrestleMania? And then they let him do it in a match that didn't matter because it was not for a title. It was Stone Cold's last match too, so it was like, we gotta fucking do this shit. Okay, so every top guy that Vince has picked, he picked Randy Orton. He was a second place guy, you know. He picked Lex Luger.
Oops.
Fucking, he was coerced into Shawn Michaels. You know, like that whole era was weird.
Yeah, I've always wanted to spend more time researching the New Generation era.
But yeah, like the New Generation era, you know, he picked Lex Luger, right? That was during the New Generation era to replace Hulk Hogan. So they had him be the All-American guy, and then they had like a little experiment in one of the Royal Rumbles. I forget which number it was or what date it was.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say 95, but I don't know. So they had both Lex Luger and Bret Hart go over at the same time to win, and they gauged the crowd reaction. They raised, you know, they had one referee raise Lex Luger's hand, and one other referee raise Bret Hart's hand, and as they were doing that, from the cheers of the crowd, they were gauging who was better. And eventually, Lex Luger went on to not be the top guy, and then go to WCW and to continue not being a top guy. And then Bret Hart ended up being one of the top guys.
And then Lex Luger went on to losing all of his muscle mass and he's out with old age.
Dude, he looks like the Crypt Keeper now.
He is the Crypt Keeper.
Jeez.
Lex Luger has lived a hard life.
He doesn't even lift his own weight now.
He's too busy lifting the guilt of Miss Elizabeth's death on his hands.
Oh, I don't even... That's a dark reference.
Yeah, not horrendously untrue given the state that Lex Luger's in.
Yeah. So yeah, like, fucking, what are some other examples? John Cena was not handpicked. Randy Orton was.
Mm-hmm.
So John Cena became the top guy against Vince's will.
Yeah.
Like the fans, despite what you know, like you believe it or not, at one point John Cena was fucking huge over, like ridiculous. That's why they eventually went with him. But it was always supposed to be Randy Orton.
You have to remember that at one point John Cena was the professor of thugonomics.
Dude, the doctor of thug. Don't give him professor. He didn't complete his. Doctor, he got a PhD, but he didn't get what's that?
Masters.
Masters is after PhD.
I got an associate.
I'm pretty sure. Me too, and it does nothing for me.
Same.
I'm pretty sure it's associates, bachelor's, master's, PhD.
Rip.
But yeah, like.
Yeah,
I don't know what you got to do to be a professor over a doctor, but regardless, he got his PhD in thugonomics. But he was the only one who ever got a PhD in thugonomics. So that's why he was so over, because they knew how good this guy was at thugonomics.
Oh my God, you need to stop.
And even then, like, he made it look easy because even the song said it was basic thugonomics. Like, he wasn't even giving you 100% of his thugonomics. You were just getting basic thugonomics.
TNG 101.
It's great.
Okay, we're going back to the show notes.
Okay, but like I was saying,
yeah.
Vince McMahon has a horrible track record of picking his top guy. The longer they stick to their guns with Roman, the worse it's going to be.
Yes.
Because unlike John Cena, he didn't start off with a massive fan following, then eventually gained the ire of the fans. Roman Reigns is starting off with the ire of the fans. So fun.
Yeah. Next up on the card, actually, in between matches, Roman gives a backstage interview with JoJo, and he's a robot. There's no anything.
Yeah.
There's no anything.
JoJo is super tiny.
JoJo is like 4'11".
She is.
She's a great person to do interviews with wrestlers just to make them seem bigger.
Yeah, no.
Of how tiny they are.
Like,
she is.
That's a legitimate point.
Yeah.
Like, small interviewers versus making the wrestlers look like mammoths.
The whole time, like, I'm looking at this, I'm just thinking, like,
they are going to eat her alive.
I've seen a lot of porn start off like this.
Oh my God.
It's like a dude who's like twice as tall as this chick walks in, and then it's like, oh, I've got 35 inches, and then like she just gets destroyed. So I'm like, and then, you know, Dean Ambrose walks in. So it's like, what?
I'm not liking this crossover, sir.
This is a pretty good crossover. I think it's pretty good.
So next up on the card is Charlotte versus Brie for the Who Cares.
I didn't.
This match was 100% filler.
This match was 100% filler, and then the ending of it involved Brie slapping on the Yes Lock, I think it was. No, she might not. She didn't put the Yes Lock on. She put it like a something else afterwards, after the Yes Lock, and it was on for like 30 seconds, and then Brie kind of launches herself off of Charlotte to insinuate the breakup.
It was like
and
a
then,
half Boston Crab.
Yeah, and then Charlotte immediately no-sells it and goes for the finisher.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's great. Who cares? No one cares.
I mean, I will say the match was a lot better than I've ever seen any Brie Bella match.
Yes.
Which was good, because I think the fact that there were 2 women's matches on the show, I think is a good sign.
Yeah.
The fact that they were both, like, one was great, one was pretty good, that was a great sign. The crowd seemed to be pretty into both, too. Which is also, like, it was definitely surprising for the Brie match.
Yeah.
But
the Brie match was topical.
Right. So I'm guessing, like, since even if it is just, Brie Bella versus Charlotte, the fact that the crowd was into it means that it's already way better than what we used to have. Because before, you could put really good female wrestlers in the ring and the crowd wouldn't care because they were conditioned not to. So, like, I feel like now the crowd's finally getting over their conditioning and then starting to fucking care again. Even with a match like this that you shouldn't have cared about.
I saw someone tweet out, like, a women's match is the curtain jerker, but I don't need to go to the bathroom.
Right.
Alright, so this is the match I think we've all been most excited for, almost. AJ Styles versus Jericho.
Oh my god, you know what? Fucking, I'm so pissed off.
Yeah, I know. Okay, we'll get.
Do you know?
We'll get there.
Do you know though?
About the end of this match, I know though.
No.
Okay.
No. Remember when I was saying during the Royal Rumble, I wanted to see fucking AJ Styles DDT? How I was saying that?
I mean, you were saying a lot of things about AJ Styles.
I was saying a lot of things. So this match, they finally busted out the AJ Styles DDT, but it was half botched. And I say half because it still ended up being fine, but it was not as sweet as it normally was. Because, like, what AJ Styles DDT is, he does, like, a lion salt off the middle rope, does the full rotation, and while he's doing the backflip, he hooks his opponent's head into a reverse DDT, stands there, like, he doesn't do it in one fluid motion, and that I like that the most, because, like, he grabs it, stands there for a second, then drops back, and that's fucking sick.
Yeah, I know exactly the spot you're talking about.
In this match, they tried it, and it still ended up being okay. But as somebody who fucking masturbates to that move, what ended up happening was AJ didn't get the air he's supposed to get.
No.
He ended up fucking flipping and grabbing Jericho's. I forgot the other man because he didn't matter. This is AJ's match. He ends up grabbing him by the torso.
Yeah, he
and
did.
Then falling back. So, like, sure, it still looked like a move. Somebody who hasn't seen the real move before would have been cool with it. But me, I was like, oh, my load has not been blown. You're just fucking blue balling me, man.
Even though you were saying all that, like, when I saw the move happen myself, I was like, yo, that looked pretty sick.
It was really sick.
You see what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah.
You guys only saw half of the move.
We'll have to wait till Mania.
Like, I'm sitting there like, that was a botch, I'm pissed. And then you guys are like, it was sick!
We'll have to wait till Mania. We'll get it at Mania.
I hope so.
So, like, the thing I hate about this match is that they've been booking the Styles Clash.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, he's going for the Styles Clash! He's going for the Styles Clash! And then people get out, and I'm like, oh, look. Right. So, like this match, I'm like, okay, so Jericho's going to eat the Styles Clash.
Yeah.
And, like, the crowd's lit for this match. And, like, props to where props should be. Jericho worked his ass off for this match.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Like,
great match.
Great match. AJ's obviously got it. Jericho's putting his fucking work in. Jericho is putting his work in.
Jericho actually had my favorite spot of the match.
Say your spot, because we might have the same spot.
My favorite spot of the match was when Jericho was in the calf killer.
Okay, that wasn't mine.
It was the final. It was the final thing. You know, the finish. When he was in it, he made you believe it. And, like, you know, we've seen submission finishers, you know, before.
Yeah.
Like ending a match, whatever. But Jericho made you fucking believe. And, like, I was so fucking, like, I was looking at it and I was so appreciative of when I saw it. I was like, man, this takes me back to, like, WrestleMania 20 almost. Like, when Triple H was in the crossface and shit. Because, like, It was great. It was one of those things where like the psychology of that part really like sucked me in more than the rest of the match. To be my favorite spot.
My favorite spot of the match was AJ on the apron jumping up on top of the rope for the springboard forearm, and like just another thing, like much with the Divas tag match, like
the timing
perfectly timed.
Yeah.
Jericho does the springboard dropkick to AJ's feet, like it was the most fluid thing of the night.
Yeah, it was
just
great.
So perfectly timed. As AJ is like jumping and touching down the ropes, Jericho's already springboarding and hitting him in the feet with the dropkick.
Right.
God, it looks graceful.
It was great.
So good. Like a lot of this match was like really technical, like reversals and not exactly, I wouldn't say mat work, but like a lot of just unbelievably strong wrestling fundamentals.
Yeah.
Like they had it.
Yeah. The only thing that I will say upset me about the match was Chris Jericho kicking out of the Styles Clash. Another thing that I really liked is that AJ used my finishing move in this match.
Okay, so I was going to bring this up to you. Sidebar quick. AJ is in like the turn, like up against the turnbuckle, and Jericho calls him a stupid son of a bitch, and they censored that. Even on paper.
That was super funny.
It was, I loved it. I was like, oh, come on, guys, it's pay-per-view.
Did he say stupid son of a bitch?
Yeah.
When I was watching it, they might have actually, like, I don't know, because, like, I never heard any censoring. I heard him say, like, silly shit. He was like, you're stupid.
Yeah.
You're stupid, AJ. You're a stupid man. Like,
it was right before that. It was right before they said, you're a stupid son of a bitch. You know that?
Oh,
you're silly, AJ. You're stupid. You know that?
Yeah,
that was a good moment.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I liked it. So AJ did the underhand hook. Is that a tiger bomb? It's how he goes into he reverses a tiger bomb into a Frankensteiner that he converted into the Styles Clash. Was that what started it? When he's got him kind of down, almost like the pedigree looking move, and he goes for a drop on that. Is that a tiger bomb?
Yes.
Okay, so I did have it right.
Yeah.
So Jericho puts him in for the tiger bomb, goes to put him in. AJ Frankensteiners onto Jericho, and then sets him up for the Styles Clash. And I thought that was liquid smooth.
Yeah. So
I just wanted to make sure I had the right term.
Yeah, so I got to see my finishing move in this match. It is the move that I would use as a finisher if I were a wrestler. And it was when AJ did, like, it looked like it was going to be a back suplex, but then he slammed him forward with a face buster, and he went like a sit-out, like wheelbarrow face buster. And he was always the one that did it. But normally he would do a German suplex, roll through, and then do it. But I guess here they didn't want to do that part.
Gotta save it for Mania.
Yeah, and I always mark out when I see that move because I'm like, that's mine. That's my finisher.
That's my move. That's my B&B.
That's my
B&B. Never fuck it up.
Yeah. Does at least 3K.
Yeah. So yeah, the ending of this match is a little bit of a bummer because Jericho kicked out of the Styles Clash, which like you booked the Styles Clash really hard, and then Jericho kicks out of it.
It's like they took it back.
I was just like, oh my god, it sucks so bad.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't know if it's just like the everybody being unfamiliar with it, but like the Styles Clash setup has looked really sloppy. Not because of AJ, but because no one's really doing it right.
Okay.
Like whenever people are doing it and taking it, like they don't immediately let like bend their knees like they're supposed to, to make it look a lot more compact. Like they're letting it hang out, and the biggest, like, it happened in this match, but the biggest blunder was when he tried it on Roman Reigns during the Rumble, because like Roman's a huge dude.
Yeah.
So like when he did it, his legs were fucking like
gangle legs.
Like, so it's like whenever I see that, I'm like, oh, that looks bad. Just like in TNA, since he'd been there forever, everyone knew how to make that move like look good during the setup. Because like the setup of that move is more important than the actual landing, because it's like it's a really weird looking move.
Yeah,
it really is. So the weirder you make it look, the more weird it's gonna look. And that might have been why they had him kick out of it, because like Vince might have seen it and he was like, man, that move is fucking weird. Why are you doing that? We used to have a diva use that move, you know that, right? We used to have Crash Holly use that move, and then he died.
Anyways, great match. Bit of a whiff on the ending, but match of the night.
I mean, like, other than the Styles Clash, like I said, I love the ending.
Yeah.
When they're really pushing the calf killer,
which is good. I like it.
Yeah, like having AJ be a submission guy, and I guess on Jericho's podcast, his recent episode with AJ, he was talking about when he was talking to Vince. Him and AJ and Vince were talking, and like Vince wanted him. He's not a big guy, so he's like, we're gonna have you be a pit bull. Pit bull type guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it kind of makes sense for like the calf crusher, this like submission move that doesn't look technical. It just looks like a dude fucking yanking your leg.
Yeah.
I can get into that. I want to see the fucking, if we don't see the spiral tap at Mania, I'm gonna be so upset.
Oh, buddy.
I want to see the spiral tap.
Luna tears. All right, the next match is an even match. We get a promo. New Day.
It was a good promo though.
It was a good promo until towards the end.
Yeah.
So New Day comes out. They don't have a match because they've like just beaten the pants off of everyone in the division. They have
and if
no
anybody doesn't need a match, New Day doesn't need a match.
Yeah.
They should just be the guy. Should have them be the WWE champion.
They've like I see people on my image board of choice being like, New Day's getting stale. I'm like, New Day's not stale. New Day just has vastly outgrown the tag division.
Yeah.
They have nothing else to do in the tag division.
Could you imagine the New Day in a feud for the WWE title?
Yeah.
Them as a unit. I love it.
They just need to like eject them from the tag division.
Yeah.
And then, like let them go be like main event quality.
Like, could you imagine fucking Triple H versus the New Day at WrestleMania?
You'd be so mad, and I would be so happy.
I'd love it.
Like the entirety of the New Day, you just fucking Triple H. He's like, yeah, I could beat all three of you. You're just a bunch of jokes. You're mid-card fucking cronies.
And then they'd be joking all over the place.
Yeah, and then they beat Triple H.
Okay, now we're getting.
And then I don't give a fuck. It's the New Day. But yeah,
talent beating me.
Right.
Me and my shovel have something else to say about that.
Speaking of the New Day, though, a friend of mine linked me something when I was at work, so I haven't gotten a chance to check it out yet. But Xavier Woods was on an episode of Hot Pepper Gaming.
Yeah, I saw that he was. I didn't watch it.
For Street Fighter V. And like, I think it's so sick that we're having wrestlers, and like even the whole Lupe fiasco.
And Kenny Omega is going to be a CEO.
He's going to be a CEO?
Yep.
Good, because that's the best place for him to be. And like Xavier that's where they need to have their match.
Yeah, Xavier and Kenny really need to have a match at the CEO. I'm sure Jabali's pulling for it.
Oh, Jabali better be.
I know
he set up this wrestling themed major.
Yeah.
If he's not pulling for this, then his ass is bigger than his head.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Anyways, it's Edge and Christian pimping their new show, which actually looks like hot shit, if you ask me.
I think it looks like it'd be entertaining. If only because it was them doing it.
Yeah, it could be. I'm just like, I kind of, like, I've been surprised before, like, Swerve was actually really funny.
Yeah.
So this could be funny. I'll sit down and watch it at some point.
I don't think much of it, but there is one segment of the commercials I keep seeing that I like, where Vince McMahon goes into his office with like the most disgusted and confused face. That was the only good part about the commercials.
Yeah, I like it again, not necessarily because of the content,
but because of the people.
Yeah, because I love seeing wrestlers doing things.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, because when you really look at like up, down, down, when you look at that, if you take it just at face value, it's a really subpar gaming channel. But since it's wrestlers being like fucking wrestlers with each other, like just being real people, fucking you see Bray Wyatt in the background, fucking watching people play fucking Street Fighter 2. That's sick.
Yeah,
it's like, holy shit, it's Bray Wyatt. Like Rusev playing Street Fighter 4 and being like the only one almost as good as Xavier at it compared to everyone else. And when he was asked about it, once again, it was on Chris Jericho's podcast. When he was asked about like the gaming channel, he said it was about the games, yeah, but he wanted to make it more about the community that he's a part of, and that makes a lot of sense because whenever he does like his solo things, like it's not quite as interesting. Sure, it's Xavier doing it, but it's like Xavier doing a Let's Play is a lot less entertaining than watching like a group of fucking mid-carders beat the shit out of each other
and
in fighting
jammers.
games they don't know how to play.
Yeah.
Like. So yeah.
So this segment's like kind of good and actually really good, and they're kind of like teasing someone else to come out, and I'm like, our end zone cast debuting. Our end zone cast debuting.
See, I think you were more disappointed about it than I was, because I wasn't thinking about it.
Okay, I was just like I felt like they were really like dropping hints that like some tag team is about to come out.
Yeah.
End zone cast. And then being pulled up. Like,
And then it was League of Nations.
And then like the League of Nations music hit, and I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, it's like at the end of it, it's like, was that a New Day face turn?
Yeah, it's just
like, was it?
Yeah.
Like, like are they tweeners now officially?
So the next, I'm like, oh, okay, that sucked. I mean, we had a promo thing during a pay-per-view. I mean, I guess I can handle that. And then the next match is R-Truth versus Curtis Axel, and I'm like, wow, this is actually a Raw segment. This is actually the third hour of Raw.
This could have been on the pre-show. Why didn't Del Rio and Kalisto get this spot?
Yeah, exactly. It
doesn't make any sense.
So this is actually a story spot. Curtis Axel and Social Outcast come out. R-Truth comes out to have a match with Curtis Axel. Goldust runs in to help, but inadvertently causes Truth to lose. It's literally Raw, and it's over in 5 minutes.
I completely missed the actual pinning because Goldust was in the foreground. I was like, oh, is he going to do something?
Yeah. Speaking of that, Goldust is in the foreground. You don't know what's going on, and then R-Truth gets the pin, and you're like, what happens? Like that, back in the Wyatt family match, the ending of the Wyatt family match is Ryback and Harper. Harper's got Ryback in a locker or a mover, about to do something, and then Kane hits Ray, but there was no camera on him, so you're left with Luke Harper looking off in the distance, and then commentary being like, Kane just hit Bray Wyatt, and then Ryback takes a chance at the confusion and gets the win, but there was no camera on Kane hitting Bray, so you're like, what's the?
That's Kevin Dunn at his finest.
Yeah, what the hibbit is happening?
Well, with the wrestlers involved in that match, I really do like how R-Truth sings during his opening.
Yeah, he's R-Truth's good.
Yeah.
I think all of the skits with R-Truth and Goldust have been unbelievably funny.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Golden Truth happen.
Especially at the end of the match, how disappointed Goldust looked.
He looked like the saddest baby. He's like,
Goldust always looks disappointed though.
he remembers all the things he did in the Attitude Era.
Yeah. And before he was in there during New Generation.
He was New Generation.
He's actually fucking quite the journey.
He's really old.
Yeah.
All that oldness covered up by all that makeup.
Yeah. Golden.
Yeah. So it's time for the main event. We're like, oh my gosh, is it gonna happen?
Yeah, I was like, this match legitimately was good.
Yeah.
Right.
This was great.
2 out of 3 wrestlers, great.
Yeah. This was at least a 66.6%.
I mean, honestly, technically, Roman did a lot more than Brock did.
But what Brock did.
Yeah, that's the thing. Brock's physical charisma is amazing.
Whereas Roman's physical charisma is...
When Brock Lesnar had someone in a hold, and then he just started smiling, and I just started marking out because, that was a really creepy-ass smile.
I don't think it was the smile. It was it's just the look he had on his face was just ghastly.
Yeah.
It was whoa.
Yo, stop doing that. It's creepy. Except keep doing it, because it's creepy.
Yeah, when he had Roman Reigns in the Kimura lock. Right before the finish.
Yeah, that was great.
It was disgusting.
He was getting turned up.
So the match starts off and Brock immediately grounds both Dean and Roman to absolute beef. And Dean, Brock does Brock things. He throws around a couple Germans. Dean tries to German Brock, and Brock just no sells.
Yeah.
I was marked out.
I was totally marking out.
Which is funny because later in the match, Dean Ambrose lifts him twice in order to put him up for the triple power bomb.
Yeah, so. I love the fact that early on in the match, he's like, "I'm gonna put you in this German," and Lesnar's, "I'm just no."
If we see Dean Ambrose German suplex Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, that's gonna be a moral victory.
Yeah,
because what can you do?
So pretty much the whole match is how do we get Brock out of this match?
Yeah.
So scuffle. Brock beats everyone up, take it to the outside, set up the Shield power bomb at 66.6% power.
Yeah.
And they throw Brock through the Spanish announce table.
And then they do it again. Then they fucking have their brawl and
they have their match inside.
And then he started getting up, and then Dean was like, "Oh, hey, we probably should take care of this."
Yeah, I loved that because after they got done kicking the shit out of each other, like they see Brock stirring, Dean just like pats Roman, who he just got done drilling.
Yeah,
he was like, "Hey,
we need to fucking
take care of him."
This is the best for both of us to do this right now.
So that was great because they got to be a team while still not being a team. Then they put him through the American announce table.
Yes,
I would like to point out that the only announce table that survived that match was the German.
Yeah, I know. I think that's really funny that the German announce table survived. I think it would have been funnier if the German and the American went away and the Spanish announce table survived for once in its life.
Well, I mean that'd be cool as a meta example.
Yeah.
But the fact that Brock Lesnar wasn't put through a German announce table.
Oh wow, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now that you say it like that.
Anyways, they go back in after the second Shield powerbomb.
After burying him.
Yeah, that's right. After they put him through the second announce table, they literally just stack crap on top of him.
And then Michael Cole had the call of the night, or was it Byron Saxton? It might have been Byron.
Yeah.
He said Roman Reigns is burying Brock Lesnar. I'm like, that's foreshadowing right there. That's a fucking foreshadow.
I think it was Cole, and I'm sure that came straight from above to say that. What was it? So Roman hits a impressive start to the high school bombing, and Dean swings the momentum so he kind of lands towards the turnbuckle and isn't able to get it off. He then goes for a flying nothing and gets Superman punched out of the air. Dean recovers, hits Roman with dirty deeds, but Roman kicks out.
Of course.
Roman puts him up for the Samoan drop, and like a bolt of steel, Brock runs in, grabs Roman, and suplexes Roman, who is currently still Samoa dropping Dean.
He suplexed both of them at the same time.
He just picked up both of those dudes.
Yeah.
A totem pole of suplexing.
It was unreal. That's probably close to 450 to 500 pounds of meat.
Yeah, because like Dean Ambrose is just over to like 200 somewhere, like maybe 225, and then Roman is like 260.
Yeah, it's we're looking at roughly 500 pounds that Brock just like scooped like Sunday driving.
Needless to say, I also marked out at that moment.
I was marking out that because like you didn't even see him come in. He was just like,
he was just there, suplex.
For a guy so big, he's really fast.
Really fast. Roman hits Brock with another spear because he hit him earlier in the match, and Brock straight up no-sells the shit out of it. Brock doesn't even he no-sells it. Like Roman goes over for the pin and he puts him in the Kimura lock. He like no-sells the shit out of it. I loved it. Once he's in the Kimura lock, Roman actually stands up almost as if he's doing the high school bombing. Dean comes in with a chair, beats the living shit out of both of them. Brock rolls to the outside. Roman spears Dean, gets the 1, 2, 3 in the match.
Not happy.
Fuck this company.
So, Roman gets to kick out of the Dirty Deeds.
Yes.
Brock Lesnar gets to be Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Surviving spears.
Yeah, he no-sells the shit out of a spear.
Dean takes one spear, and he loses.
Yep.
Just one.
Yep.
And this is supposed to be the guy that they are pushing as a guy who will always keep,
clawing back for more.
Yeah, so it's like, come on, like, you just showed that you can't endure one spear. So what story are they really trying to tell?
Did he kick out of a spear back when they had Dean and Roman for Night of Champions, whatever it was?
He took one spear.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Roman kicked out of Dirty Deeds then, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Fuck. Stop fucking over Dean.
I don't know. It was really a shame because everyone was expecting good things to happen, but Dean totally got dicked over. And as a whole, looking back through this pay-per-view, it really sucked.
Yeah. I mean, there were good moments. The main event was a good match. It's just one of those examples of the wrong guy won, and that was super sad. Like, this is a match, like, whenever you hear about matches like that where the wrong guy won, if we look back on it like 3 years from now and we watch the match again, we could probably love the match.
Yeah.
Because it's like everything else will probably be in a different place. Dean hopefully will be at least a 3-time champion by then. I know Roman's going to be at WrestleMania. So it's like, when you can look back, like on hindsight,
Roman will
and
be
say,
a 3-time champion in a semester.
Yeah.
After seeing who the fighters were, I already knew I wasn't going to be happy. There was no way that Brock Lesnar or Dean Ambrose was going to win it.
Yeah.
No chance.
It was like we had a lot of hype about this match, but like looking back on it, like realistically speaking, Dean couldn't win because that would imply that Dean would have to either A, pin Brock, which isn't going to happen, or B, pin Roman, which isn't going to happen. Like it's just like logistically not possible.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
I would have loved it if Dean and the other guy, and not Dean, if Brock Lesnar and the other guy beat each other up, knocked each other down, and then Dean Ambrose just flops on top of Brock and somehow pins him.
Or like they do like some spot where Dean kind of flops like on both of them and like a dead like I'm totally ripped dead and like kind of flops on both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can't tell who ate the pin, but Dean definitely got a pin.
Yeah.
So that's that. Fastlane sucked. It was a lot of hype for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And now we move on to Mania.
Now we're going on to WrestleMania.
So
Roman Reigns, their big top face, is going to get booed out of the fucking building by an attendance record-breaking crowd.
So Roman Reigns is going to get... Mania is going to be a shit show because your main event's Triple H and Roman.
I mean, the main event's definitely going to suck, but you got Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker at Hell in a Cell.
Which is legit.
Which is really weird.
Okay, so like...
But...
I'm actually like mad apprehensive about that match because Shane has made his living off of like really dangerous bumps.
Yeah.
And he's old now.
He's old. He hasn't been in a ring in a long time.
And Taker's also old?
Also old.
So...
And Hell in a Cell is a very high structure.
Yeah, I know they're going to try to pull some like really dangerous Mania bullshit.
Yeah, because it's not going to be an entertaining match if they don't.
No,
because Shane's not a wrestler. He's never considered himself a wrestler. He's never tried to have technical marvels of matches. His best opponent was Kurt Angle, but even in that match...
I watched that match before I came over here.
Did you?
Yeah. Great fucking match.
Even in that... It was at King of the Ring, right?
Yeah, King of the Ring.
Even in that match, Shane went through 2 fucking...
glass panes.
Yeah. So it's like, shit. Someone's gonna get hurt, or that match is gonna suck.
Yeah.
Either way, because he doesn't have to win the match to get control of Raw, right?
I think he does.
No, he doesn't.
I think he added the win part as a later part of that. I don't know if I have to go back and watch it.
But at least the initial one.
Yeah.
He said, what Vince said
was you just have to be in a match.
Yeah. Because realistically, he's not going to win that match.
No, he's not.
It's not just the Undertaker, but it's also the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Shane is not a wrestler.
Shane has a history of losing pay-per-view matches, rightfully so.
Yeah. But he's entertaining.
God, yeah.
So that leads me to believe that this is how they're ending the authority angle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. They're having them end it from the inside, as opposed to like a rebel fucking alliance of wrestlers trying to end it themselves when realistically they can't.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if this is how it's going to end, that's great because at least we got the return of Shane McMahon on.
Yep. I'm very happy with it. We already talked about Dean and Lesnar, and I think that's all we have going for us right now.
Yeah, they didn't set up any AJ Styles match.
Not yet. So yeah, that's about it for that. I'm gonna go home and go to sleep. This was disappointing.
It had a few good moments, and that's all I could ask for.
It had its moments. I will say that, but a lot of things went pear-shaped.
Yeah.
All right, so that's gonna be it for us tonight. Signing off. I'm Mr. You Suck. That's LunaKage.
I'm Mark,
and that's Mark. Mark the Mark.
Mark the Mark.
Mark the Mark.
Mark the Mark type.
I did mark out enough, so I was happy.
Yeah, it was a good review for what it was, but as a whole, it's stunk pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
Definitely left with a lot of disappointment in your mouth. Much like Mania will. Later, losers.